In 1968, Carry On Up the Khyber stormed British cinemas with chaos, innuendo, and a dinner scene that made history. But behind the laughter lay odd accidents, real danger, and some of the strangest stories in the entire Carry On series. Fact 1.
Who are those people?
That light of my darkness is Sir Sidney Rough Diamond.
Writers Talbot Rothwell and Peter Rogers knew the title would spark trouble. Khyber Pass was already Cockney rhyming slang for a rude word, arse. The BBC initially banned trailers that used the name on air. Posters in some cinemas simply read, "Carry on up the K-." Rogers fought back, insisting the film's wordplay was integral to the Carry On brand. Ironically, the publicity boosted ticket sales. Newspapers ran headlines mocking the ban, calling it Carry On Censored. When the film opened in August 1968, queues wrapped around London blocks. It became the highest-grossing British film of the year. That infamous title ended up in parliamentary debate about decency in cinema. Rogers joked later, "If they banned it, we'd have made twice the money." The uproar proved audiences loved mischief with their morals. From the start, Carry On Up the Khyber wasn't just a film, it was a dare.
A British governor whose benevolent rule and wise guidance we could well do without.
Fact 2.
Captain Keen, sir! Captain Keen!
What is it?
They're coming down the pass, sir! Hundreds of the devils!
Although set on Britain's colonial frontier in India, the film was shot in Snowdonia, North Wales. Budget constraints made exotic locations impossible. Director Gerald Thomas scouted mountainous terrain that could double for the Khyber Pass. Local sheep farms became Afghan villages with painted facades. Crew members carried bags of sand to cover Welsh grass. During filming, it rained for 10 days straight. Cinematographer Alan Hume used filters to make grey skies look sun-baked. Actors wore thin cotton costumes in freezing temperatures. Kenneth Williams wrote in his diary, "I'm turning blue in Burma shorts." Locals watched the chaos from hilltops, cheering when elephants arrived for a single scene. Only a few studio shots were done at Pinewood. Despite the hardship, the backdrop looked convincingly colonial. Tourists still visit the valley today to stand where India once was.
When you are ordered to attention, you are courteously requested to stop shuffling your flaming feet about!
Fact 3.
Oh yes, I'm just loving it!
It's quite a new experience for me. I've only ever ridden side saddle before.
You could have fooled me!
The production secured 2 circus elephants named Rosie and Queenie. They were flown from a UK safari park in army cargo planes. Handlers struggled to keep them calm in the Welsh cold. Their first day on set, one elephant refused to move until given warm tea. Animal safety rules were minimal in the 1960s. Cast members kept pockets of apples to bribe them through takes. In one scene, Rosie sprayed water at Bernard Bresslaw, knocking his turban off. The reaction was so funny, it stayed in the film. Crew had to clean muddy footprints from props every night. Later, Rogers called them the most expensive actors we ever fed. Despite the chaos, audiences believed they were on the Raj frontier. Those 2 elephants accidentally gave the film its biggest laughs and its most authentic touch.
Well, you should have gone before, Tiffin. You know, it's very bad.
The Qazi of Calabar.
Oh.
Fact 4.
You, up there! What is this noise? Can you see what is happening?
Oh yes, they are sitting down to dinner.
The famous banquet sequence is arguably British comedy's most celebrated moment. While the tribes attack outside, the colonial governor and his guests continue dining in polite denial. The scene satirised upper-class stoicism. Stiff upper lip taken literally.
Stiff upper lips and their dirty great flags hanging out.
Director Thomas shot it in a single afternoon at Pinewood with hidden explosions outside the windows. Crockery shook as actors kept straight faces. Williams, Sid James and Joan Sims struggled not to laugh. Every line was timed to the sound of falling plaster. The BBC used it in training films about comic timing. Historians now teach it as satire on imperial attitudes. Williams later wrote, "It's the best scene we ever did. England collapsing with dignity. No carry-on moment captures national self-mockery better. That banquet remains a feast of foolish bravery."
What's all this noise? Can't you see I'm trying to sleep?
What is that?
Fact 5.
Sari.
Oh, there's no need to apologise. It's a nice little freeze.
No, the garment is called a sari.
Budget costumes were not built for Wales's winds. Bernard Breslau's trousers split in front of 200 extras. Kenneth Williams's feathered helmet blew away mid-line. Crew retrieved it half a mile downhill. Angela Douglas's skirts froze stiff between takes. Wardrobe supervisor Molly Arbuthnot kept a sewing machine running in a caravan. Actors wrapped hot water bottles under costumes for warmth. Continuity became impossible. Mud stains moved every shot. Despite mishaps, designer Joan Ellis won industry praise for colour and detail. The look balanced colonial pomp with pantomime. The film's visual richness came from inventiveness, not money. It proved that style could survive a split seam.
What have you got out of her?
Mind your own business.
I mean, what information?
Fact 6.
Or, as they say in England, they tickle the fancy.
Sid James's famous cackle was never written into scripts. Directors let him ad-lib because his natural laugh lifted any scene. During filming of the tribal negotiation scene, his fit of laughter halted production for 5 minutes. Sound engineers kept recording and used the outburst as background noise in the final cut. James often broke character when co-stars improvised. Williams called him the dirtiest laugh in show business. That laugh became Carry On's unofficial theme tune. Producers said they could judge a film's success by how many times Sid laughed on set. It wasn't professionalism, it was joy. And in Khyber, he laughed more than ever. His genuine mirth infected audiences nationwide. Sometimes the funniest sound was just Sid losing control.
There's someone moving about down in the pass. Do you think those fools will try to make a fight of it?
They will have difficulty.
Fact 7.
Lady Rough Diamond has secreted it upon her person in such a place it cannot easily be got at.
Williams documented every day of filming in his meticulous journals. He called the script disgusting and wonderful. He complained about cold weather, tight costumes, and his co-stars' nonsense. Yet he also wrote, "This one will make history." He was right. Historians later used his entries to reconstruct production details. Williams often questioned the politics of empire humour. Privately, he worried the film might offend South Asian viewers. Producers assured him it mocked British pomposity, not India. When it became a hit, he felt vindicated. Those diaries remain primary sources for Carry On researchers. They reveal an actor torn between art and absurdity. Williams's self-awareness gave depth to the madness.
Brother Belcher!
Captain Keen.
Fact 8.
All right, go. Blimey, you don't have to make a full-scale tattoo out of it.
Producer Peter Rogers was known for his frugality. The entire film cost less than £250,000, the price of a single Bond scene that year. Extras were paid with tea and digestive biscuits between takes. Rogers reused props from Carry On Doctor and Don't Lose Your Head. He even borrowed sets from ITC adventure shows. Despite penny pinching, the film looked lavish thanks to Alan Hume's cinematography. The cast accepted low fees for steady work and royalties later. Profit margins were so high that Carry On Up the Khyber funded 3 subsequent films. Rogers once said, "We made champagne comedy on a beer budget." That thrift became the series' trademark and its secret weapon.
What do you mean? You asked me to give it to you straight.
Yeah, but I didn't mean you to.
You horrible little rat, you! Oh.
Fact 9.
John, my most beautiful warrior! You're a better man than I am, Bandit Dean.
Today, the film faces mixed legacy. Some viewers see its portrayal of empire as dated or offensive. Historians argue it satirized British superiority rather than other cultures. In context, it mocked colonial arrogance at the height of decolonization. Actors of South Asian heritage later said it was one of the few films to show Brits as the fools. Modern critics analyze it through post-imperial lenses. The British Film Institute still includes it in its National Archive for cultural importance. Educational screenings emphasise context and intent. While attitudes have shifted, its historical value remains. Carry On Up the Khyber is a time capsule of satire disguised as silliness. The debate proves comedy always mirrors its moment, sometimes too well. Fact 10.
Truly, the devil actually wore this garment beneath his skirts?
Half a century on, Carry On Up the Khyber is still screened on British TV every year. Its lines are quoted by politicians and comedians alike. It represents the Carry On series at its peak, irreverent but ingenious. Younger audiences discover it as retro anarchy. Film schools teach its editing for timing and comic structure. Its cast became national treasures. Kenneth Williams, Sid James, and Joan Sims remain icons of British wit. For many, it's comfort cinema, innocent chaos in Technicolor. Behind every double entendre was craft and courage. The film proved that Britain could laugh at its own myths and still be fond of them. That balance of affection and absurdity defined the nation's sense of humour. Carry On Up the Khyber remains the crowning jewel of comic madness. Weird, wonderful, and utterly British.